welcome to United Glazing Show. So let's say hi to Richard. Hello, Rich. How are you today?
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, everything is good.
Looking forward to another exciting show of the Glazing Show.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited too. Like, I got a lot of good questions for you. So like,
Great.
learning new things makes me really excited. I hope it's like the same for the other people too.
I certainly hope so, because this is, there's a lot of information here with the glazing world, and I hope that people will get some great information out of this.
Yeah, I hope so too. So if you're ready, so I'll ask you my question. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Let's go.
Okay, so what is window glazing, Rich? Can you tell us about it?
So window glazing, most people would typically think of window glazing as glass. That would be the most typical thing that you would see on a building or a house. But actually, window glazing could be a variety of different items. It could be glass, like we just spoke about briefly. It could be a louver if you want to, or if you have a need to bring some fresh air into a building or a mechanical system. It could be glass block for an area such as a bathroom or a shower area where you want to get some natural light coming in, but you don't want to have people being able to see directly into your area. Or it could also be a panel where you might have a slab edge or a shear wall of a building that you don't want to see from outside, but you want it to look at least decorative, so you can have a painted panel that covered. All these items are an infill type of material that will fit into a frame that you glaze into the frame. So hence we would call this glazing, because it's getting glazed into a surround frame. But again, it could be a variety of different items depending on what your application is. But typically we would mostly think of glazing as glass. That's the most common that you and I would see, or that our audience would see.
Yeah, that's why we say glazing means glass.
Yes.
So what is a glazing application? I heard it that you just tell about it. You said glazing application. So what is a glazing application?
Glazing application would be the entire system. So all the 4 or 5 examples that we just mentioned could all be combined into one complete system. So in a commercial apartment building, which most people might be familiar with, you have an air conditioning system on a mechanical floor. Now you need to bring in a lot of air for that system to work, so that way you could properly, function the system and regulate the temperature inside the building. So if you look up on a residential building, you might see one complete row going across of louvers. But the louvers aren't just an individual item, it's part of the complete system. So the louver would be inserted into the overall frame that your glass or your windows would be. So everything will look symmetrical on the building. But now a floor higher, you're going to have apartments. And now people will have in their apartments, they're going to have some very large fixed glass, so they get a beautiful view of the city or the country, wherever they're living.
Yeah.
But then they might have next to it an operable window. Now, both the fixed window is glazed into the overall system, as well as the operable window is glazed into the overall system. Now, as you go down to the corner of the building, there might be a structural column that's holding up the entire building. And you don't want to look through a piece of glass and see this big steel column there. It's just not going to look pleasant or aesthetically pleasing to somebody. So an architect will design a panel at that location. So that way you have a nice glass, then you have a painted panel at that one corner that blocks the column, so you're not looking at a column. So between the panel, between glass, between a window, and between a louver, all those are infills that go into the glazing system. But you can have all those in the same run of windows or in the same frame, or it could be on multiple floors. But overall, it's all considered the entire glazing system that makes up all the parts and pieces to make a complete weatherproof and windproof system that's going to clad over your building or your housing area.
Yeah, there are a lot of parts that makes the glazing system.
Yes, very.
I'm a little bit complicated, but
yes,
okay,
yes.
I will get through it. So what is meant by manufactured glazing system? Is this something different?
It's going, okay, so now a manufactured glazing system. So now there are large manufacturers worldwide that will make the overall framing system. That framing system needs to be able to withstand a high wind load if you're on a multi-story building. It needs to be a weatherproof system. So if you have a heavy storm with a lot of rain or a hurricane or a tornado, you need to be able to make sure.
Right?
Yes. So it needs to be strong enough. So the manufacturer will design the system. Now, as we just spoke about, you can infill that system with different things. He'll make different adapters for his system. So, okay, a piece of glass is a different thickness than a louver is. A louver is a different thickness than a panel is. So he makes all these different types of adapters, so that way each part and piece can properly fit in and be secured into the system. But now this manufacturer is an aluminum company. He may not make glass. So when we say a manufactured system, the manufacturer of the overall system will purchase glass from a glass company. He'll purchase louvers from a louver company, and he'll purchase panels from a panel company. And they'll take part A, part B, part C, and part D and encompass it into an overall system. So what our viewers will see out here is, if they look up at a building, they'll just see one comprehensive system with all these parts in it, not realizing that it's 5 separate manufacturers, but one lead manufacturer, who is the glazing manufacturer. He's going to design everything so it works and fits properly into one complete cohesive system that's waterproof, weatherproof, and aesthetically pleasing for everybody to look at.
Well, that's a big job.
Yes, a lot of designing, a lot of engineering.
Yeah, definitely. You're so true. Well, what I understand from these responses is I really want to learn the window types next show. So are you ready for teaching us the window types?
Sure. Windows are actually a very big part of the glazing system. When we talk about those on a next show, we'll talk about different types of windows and how each window operates and what the benefits of each window are.
Yeah, I really wondered about it. So thank you very much for answering my questions, Rich. So see you up at the next show.
Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, Rich.
Great day.
Thank you very much.